provide a unique portfolio of actively managed investments. We provide exposure to both the private side, so private pre-IPO investment opportunities. We take our businesses through a listing process and we also work with them in the public markets. So our portfolio construct has both the private element, where we find these fantastic small businesses that have this great growth opportunity, and we take them through the public markets. Yes, so the core team involved in the Bombora Growth Fund has been really running this strategy for 6 years now. For the first 5 years, we proved up the strategy by investing our own money, by finding these opportunities and taking them through that IPO process. Through that 5-year period, we generated over 30% IRR throughout the 5 years. Then we raised the Growth Fund in June 2018, and since we've raised the fund, seeded the fund with a lot of our own money, and now it's open for investors. The fund in its first year has delivered over 40% IRR to investors, which is substantially more than what you get in a traditional small cap index. We've brought together a really substantial team. It's got 9 people involved in the team. These guys have got all over 20 years experience. So my background is working for Ironbridge, a large domestic private equity fund where we had $1.5 billion of money under management, and they were large private style deals where we bought the whole company. We'd invest $80 to $100 million of equity in one hit, and then we grow that business up. Grow the business, work towards either an IPO as an exit or a trade sale as an exit. Whereas if you bring Greg Taylor, my colleague, Chief Investment Officer for the fund, Greg brings his skill set of working with Schroders as a traditional fund manager where he built up a small cap fund. And so that brings the skills of private equity as well as the public markets knowledge to the table. We've added other people to the team, so Josh May, David Willington and Brian Zeklich all have over 25 years of experience working for the firms like Ernst & Young or Deloitte. And these guys have also got really in-depth experience of advisory and structuring investments. So when we look for opportunities, it's a very hands-on process to find the opportunity to bring our team into the deal, negotiate a great outcome where the fund can make an initial investment into the business, and then we can apply all those sort of public markets and private equity skill set into the opportunity as the company grows.
The Bombora Growth Fund is focused on finding high growth, high quality opportunities, both in the private and public equity markets. In doing so, we take an active involvement in the companies that starts with a very deep due diligence process that flows through to the origination of the deals and the structuring of the deals, and then post the investment we look to work with the management team and boards of these companies to achieve their growth aspirations. The strategy looks for a high conviction approach to investing, which results in a concentrated portfolio of less than 20 holdings, which is roughly split 50% pre-IPO or private investments and 50% in public ASX listed companies. What that allows is a diversified exposure to such companies, but also in a liquid form where investors can apply and redeem their funds on a regular basis. The fund is a wholesale fund, only open to sophisticated investments with a minimum investment size of $50,000. In line with market, the fee structure of the Bombora fund sees a 1.5% management fee with a performance fee incentive in place where 20% of all outperformance over and above the 7% annual return hurdle is in place, which is subject to a high watermark test. Starting with the pre-IPO or the unlisted portfolio, we've had some great success. So the first transaction was Ripe, which was quickly followed up by Live Tiles. These are both businesses that were listed on the ASX, which we originated the transaction, started at less than 30 million market capitalisation and now trading well north of 300 million capitalisation and still with great outlooks. More recently, there's been Pacific Knowledge Systems, which has been done in the last 12 months, and even in the last couple of years, we've had companies such as Acro and Jennison successfully list on the ASX and generate great returns for the early investors such as the Bombora Fund and our co-investors.